Hi, my name is Freya, and I don't trust anybody in this world. I have a wonderful boyfriend, Calvin, and he loves me, but I'm always scared that one day he might dump me. I keep myself so emotionally detached that I never said I love you to Calvin, even though he expresses the same thing to me almost 10 times in 1 hour. I know my trust issues stem from my childhood trauma. My parents were poor, and they struggled really hard to raise me and my younger sister, Molly. However, I always felt they loved Molly more than me. There was only a 2-year difference between us, but their attention was always on Molly. Once, we both were playing in a public park and fell down from a swing. I got a little cut on my toe while nothing happened to Molly. Still, my dad picked her up and Mom anxiously checked her heartbeat while nobody cared for me. I broke down into tears. Can't you see I'm bleeding? Why are you guys not bothered about me? Am I not your real daughter? After this incident, I started fearing that my mom and dad could abandon me any time for Molly. And then one day, my worst nightmare actually came true. I had just returned from school when I saw a big Porsche standing outside my house. There was no way my parents or any of our relatives could afford such a luxurious car, so I got confused. As I walked in, I was shocked to see a rich man and woman making an offer to my dad. They were ready to pay him $1 million in return for something, and I wondered what it was.
Come, Freya, say hello to your new mom and dad. They're gonna take you to their big house and give you everything you want.
But I don't want to go with them. Why don't you send Molly instead?
Don't say that. They're gonna love so much that you'll forget us in a few days.
Dad was partially right. My new mom and dad did shower me with lots of love, but I still couldn't forget my old family. I resented my birth parents for choosing my younger sister over me. I know they were in a financial crisis, but who gives away their daughter for money? I grew up hating everyone because nobody understood my emotions. My new billionaire parents were trying their best to make me happy, but because of past betrayal, I couldn't trust them as well. Once, they planned to take me on an expensive foreign vacation, but at the very last moment, I refused to join them. We were standing at the airport, about to board the plane, and I got cold feet. What if you left me abroad and never brought me back home? I would rather go back and stay in my room. I don't feel safe going out with you. I ruined our perfect family just because I couldn't trust my parents. They felt pretty bad about it, but didn't say anything to me. They were so nice and loving to me, but I could never appreciate their efforts. And then in college, I got the best boyfriend in Calvin, but still wasn't able to trust him. He was so loyal and devoted to me, but I thought the day I would express how much I loved him, he might run away from me. But I was amazed to see how Calvin always empathized with me. Once, I was feeling very lonely and crying in the college parking lot when Calvin saw me and panicked.
What happened, baby? Did anybody hurt you?
I quickly wiped my tears and put on a smile. No, I'm fine. Do you want to grab a coffee?
Don't change the topic, please. Why don't you ever share anything with me? I'm your boyfriend, for God's sake.
He got really upset and walked away, but then the next day, he apologized.
I'm sorry I lost my cool. I know you're struggling with your feelings. Just remember, I'm here for you whenever you need me. Now come, let's watch Hear My Stories. You should subscribe too.
Despite being hurt so many times, Calvin didn't leave me. He in fact always tried to make me happy. And then on my 16th birthday, he planned a surprise beach vacation for us. I could see he was really trying to make this relationship work. I can say yes right now, but you know I can back out last minute. I've done this with my parents.
That's why I've made all these bookings with free cancellations.
Surprisingly, I didn't chicken out and finally dared to take that vacation. Little did I know that this vacation was going to transform my entire life. As soon as we landed on that little beach town, I felt a certain calmness and freshness in the air. However, I had no idea what destiny had in store for me. We were waiting for our B&B hosts to hand us the key, and just then I saw a familiar face walking towards us. She was a woman in her early 40s and looked a lot like my birth mom. It took me almost a minute to realize that she was actually my mom. Behind her, a man was coming to greet us, and he was no one else but my dad. I got the shock of my life. It had been ages since I saw them, but they recognized me in a second.
Hi, sweetheart. What a pleasant surprise.
We missed you so much. Come, give me a hug.
I stepped back. Calvin was confused.
Freya, do you know these people?
No, I've no idea who they are and why they are getting so clingy. Let's not stay here and find some other B&B.
I don't think we'll find anything else. Everything was already booked. I know this couple seems weird, but can we please manage one night? Tomorrow morning, we'll find another place.
It was only a matter of a few hours, and we had nowhere else to go, so I agreed to stay there. But I was restless the whole night. My head was muddled with so many questions. When and why did my parents shift to this beach town? What if Calvin found out and hates me after knowing the truth? And above all, the question that was bothering me the most was, where was my sister? What happened to her? Did my parents give her away just like me? Next morning, as I woke up, I tried to find the answers to these questions. I stepped out and peeked into every room of that B&B, but couldn't see my sister anywhere. Where is Molly? What did you do to my sister? Why is she not here?
So you do remember your sister, but forgot your parents? Why did you pretend last night that you didn't recognize us?
Because both of you died for me the day you sold me off for money. Tell me, where's my sister? Otherwise, I'll call the police.
Wanna call the cops on your parents? Go ahead and do it, but we can't tell you anything about Molly.
And just then, Calvin came looking for me.
Who is Molly? And what are you doing here, baby?
Calvin took me to the back room, and as we started packing, I suddenly changed my mind. Let's stay here only. I don't think we should move. I mean, the room is nice, the view is beautiful, the food is yum. We can ignore the hosts. What do you say?
If you're comfortable here, I'm also fine. I just want us to enjoy this vacation. Would you like to go snorkeling now?
I didn't want to ruin Calvin's excitement, but I was thinking about Molly all the time. The suspense was killing me, so I finally came up with a plan. One night, while Calvin was fast asleep, I tiptoed out of our room and sneaked into my parents' shack. I was hiding a butter knife in my hand, and my plan was to scare them. So as soon as they saw me, I pounced on them. I'll kill both of you if you don't tell me about Molly right now. I'm giving you 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I started counting, and my parents were scared to death. They still didn't open their mouths, and I was about to hurt them in that moment of rage when suddenly Calvin barged into the room and stopped me.
Have you gone mad, Freya?
I was shocked beyond belief. What did you say? How do you know these are my real parents?
Coming here and meeting your birth parents was not a coincidence, Freya. I planned everything.
Turns out, Calvin knew from day one what I was doing. He brought me on this vacation for a reason. As he got into the relationship with me, he realized very early on that I had some deep psychological issues. Since I never opened up to him, he decided to meet my family and figure out the reason behind my strange behavior. The day he discovered that my real parents were living on a beach, he planned this vacation for me. I felt like crying, so in the middle of the night, I walked out towards the beach. Calvin followed me and tried to apologize.
I'm so sorry, Freya, that I planned everything without your knowledge, but you would have never come here if I told you the truth.
How dare you treat me like a project that needs some kind of fixing? Just when I was about to trust you, you ruined everything between us.
Don't say this, baby. My approach might be wrong, but my heart was in the right place. I just wanted you to reconcile with your family, but I made it worse. I'll do everything to make up for it. Please, tell me, what can I do?
You want to see me happy, right? You found my parents and made us meet. Now, I want you to find out about my sister and take me to her. Can you do that for me? Calvin stood in silence for a second and then promised me that no matter which part of the world Molly was in, he would definitely find her for me. I told him that it was going to be one hell of a task because my parents were not ready to reveal anything. Calvin assured me that he had a plan to break them down. There was a cleaning guy at the B&B who he thought might be able to give us a lead on Molly. We started giving him heavy tips and often made small talks with him. And then one day, I asked him, "So, do you enjoy working here? Or are you looking for a change?" He said that he liked the work, but he misses the little girl who was living here until last year. The moment he mentioned this, I immediately knew he was talking about Molly. Where did that girl go? If you miss her so much, why don't you go and see her? We'll come along with you. We'll help you meet her. I was hoping that the guy would give us the address of Molly, but unfortunately, he had no idea where she was. He just knew that some really strange people came on a big boat one night and took Molly away from her parents. She kept crying, but no one could stop those people. They looked very dangerous and left no clue about where they came from. After hearing this story, I couldn't believe that my sister was kidnapped and my parents did nothing to save her. What kind of parents are you? Someone kidnapped your daughter and you didn't even report it to the cops? I thought you guys weren't fair to me, but you were even worse to Molly. I can't even imagine what she might be going through. I got so mad at them that I banged my head on the table at the reception. If you still don't tell me the truth, I'll hurt myself so badly that you guys will regret it forever. Finally, my parents felt threatened and disclosed their big secret.
Calm down, Freya. Don't hurt yourself unnecessarily. Molly is fine. She's doing well wherever she is. You need not worry about anything.
I don't believe you. I need proof. Either you take me to Molly or I'll take you to the cops. This time, Calvin was also on my side. He was also horrified to know that my parents didn't bother about Molly.
Okay, darling, we'll give you proof. We'll take you to see your sister, but you gotta promise us that you won't speak to her. You can't even go and say hello. If you can promise this, we can go and see her right away.
I just needed to be sure that my sister was safe and secure, so I agreed to my dad's condition. He instantly prepared a boat for the four of us, and we set off for an unknown destination. Our boat stopped at a private island where a small community of tribal people were living. It was such a serene and mesmerizing place that it felt out of the world. It was a kind of place that you imagine only in fairy tales. There was greenery everywhere and no cars or bikes around. The breeze was amazingly fresh and the sky was crystal clear. I was lost in this surreal beauty when suddenly I heard the sweet laughter of a girl. I turned back and was shocked to see that this girl was no one else but my sister Molly. She was playing with some tribal kids and seemed really happy. I got so excited to see her and was about to call her when Dad reminded me of my promise. Why can't I speak to my own sister? And why is she living here?
Molly is sick. Her lungs are damaged. She can't handle pollution at all. That's why we moved her from a city to a beach and then sent her on this remote island so that she can breathe the freshest air. Also, we gave you for adoption because we needed money for Molly's treatment. You never gave us the chance to explain ourselves, but the truth is, we love you both and miss you every day.
I was moved to tears as I finally got to hear the truth. I hated my parents while all they were trying to do was give me and Molly the best life. I felt so ashamed of myself that I not only misunderstood my birth parents, but also showed no gratitude towards my new parents. I decided to make up for everything. I apologized to Mom and Dad, and they forgave me with a tight hug. We didn't talk to Molly, because then she would cry and insist on coming back with us. However, I was glad to see that she was doing fine. Now the last thing I needed to fix was to go back home and apologize to my parents, who loved me more than anyone else on this earth. I took the next flight with Calvin and surprised Mom and Dad. I introduced them to Calvin as my boyfriend and told them that I wanted to marry him. Everyone was shocked as I made this sudden proposal, but I was confident that I was doing the right thing. I was finally able to trust the people who loved me. I got a perfect ending. But everyone doesn't get that, just like Emma, who did something shocking at her own wedding. Want to find out what happens? Then watch her story.
Nathan, where are you? It's our wedding day, remember? Yes, of course I'm here. Where are you? Babe, I love you. Why are you doing this to me? Again?
At the courthouse, Emma, beautifully dressed as a bride, is frustratingly trying to coerce her fiancé to show up and marry her.
What do you mean she's late? I thought that she was the ringer. I've got less than 20 minutes. I don't care how you do it, just find me a bride. And you've got less than 20 minutes.
Wait, it's Amber, isn't it? Nate? Nathan? Did you hang up on me?
Meanwhile, a panicked Eric is talking to his assistant and is still desperate to find himself a bride.
You have to understand that if this marriage doesn't happen, there is no business, there is no money. I've got less than 10 minutes now. Just find me a bride.
Heartbroken, and now fueled by a jealous spite, after realizing the depth of Nathan's betrayal, Emma approaches Eric Roberts.
I'll marry you. Will you marry me?
Look, miss, I appreciate the offer, but I've already got a bride. I just don't know where she is.
Yeah, are you sure about that, Romeo? Look, my fiancé is clearly having an affair and afraid to commit, so it is over. And it's obvious the time isn't on your side either. Plus, what am I supposed to do with these flowers?
Okay, fine. Let's get married.
Eric Roberts has never believed in love, let alone marriage. However, being forced with the very real possibility that he is about to lose his business and personal fortune, he is between a rock and a hard place. So today, he has no choice but to finally get married. Today.
I call this court to order. We are gathered here today by witness of the state to marry you, Eric Roberts, and you.
Tell the judge your name.
Emma Miller.
After hearing her speak her name, Eric is taken aback. For the first time, he really looks at Emma, and her beauty mesmerizes him. Who is Emma Miller, and why is she getting married so hastily? To a total stranger at that. Has Emma fallen into a trap in desperation? To find out, listen to the audiobook, The Billionaire's Accidental Bride.
Do you want to give a name to HMS's next character? Then simply comment the name and why your choice is the best one. Then, download Pocket FM by clicking this button, or click the link in the description, or simply search Pocket FM on the Play Store or App Store. The best entries will feature in the next videos.